standing here on the Rebel Road. I'm at the Corazon in Dublin, Ohio, and I had the great pleasure of interviewing Dr. Roger Boger, who is the author of the Einstein Complex. And as I was sitting here, I was seeing this radiant woman who obviously is a very strong part and presence of everything that is taking place, and I could not help but inviting his wife, Karen Boger, on to also speak with you, because some of the words she spoke earlier really touched me and let me know that we are very resonant beings of each other. And I wanted to have a deep conversation when it comes to light workers and energy and the heart and bringing in the divine feminine into a vision and allowing it to hold a space. Yet she is a woman that has a background very much in business, in lending, in building, in seeding. She is a woman that has 4 children, and so she knows about raising a vision and how putting something together and putting it up. They both have their own television series that you can see online that is called Behind the Curtain, and you can follow along on that. I will place the link below so that you can connect to the information on that. But welcome, Karen. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
It's such a pleasure. Roger said when you met me, you might want to talk to me, so wear something nice.
See, we already know what's going to happen.
Thank you.
Well, I'm thrilled from many different points. Number one, I have not had a conversation about birthing, and you have 4 children that you have raised and are raising. And so often when we are in a position of beginning something, whether it is a child or a vision or a business or an idea, there is a process that comes in with that whole birthing activity.
Gestation.
Yes, and I want you to talk about that in combination with the energy that has to be in the space for it to be of the highest good, because you bring together both of those points with who you are.
Wow. Well, you know, where does it start? Isn't that the golden question? I know in meditation I saw that I was pregnant. I usually knew the moment I was pregnant. And oh, I'm pregnant, it's a boy, this is going to happen. Oh, okay, right, honey. So it begins. It begins in the mind, it begins in a vision, but then you create it. I do vision boards. I write my life. I write what I want. So I knew the number of kids I wanted and when I wanted them and all these things, and that's kind of what happened. So to have that growing inside of you, to be in control of the constitution of that child. You know, everything you eat, everything you think, everything you listen to during that period is all part of who that soul is. I also believe that soul chose me. It chose to come to me. And even the 3 souls that didn't survive, I had 3 miscarriages, they chose to come into my life to give me that experience. So they volunteered to come for a very short period of time to give me the most grieving, you know, experience you could have. And they agreed to do that for me, so I had that experience. And I have 4 beautiful, beautiful children who are quite an experience every day.
Well, and the reason I wanted her to talk about that is because I believe each one of us, whether you are male or female, we are constantly giving birth. There is a vision that we are holding in our gut. There is something that we want to raise and grow, something that has a soul that is a part of our soul, part of our DNA. If we begin or birth a company, a business, an idea, that is our DNA that continues forward. And so everything that you described in the birth process is also something that happens in a building process of something that's new. And I know you have that background too, of actually building structures and building things. So talk a little bit about the relationship of how we can take the actual birth process of children and incorporate that into the birth process of these idea children that we have.
Well, these businesses become our babies, right? They become everything. My dog was my baby before I had the baby, so she did everything with me. Yes, we have a vision. We bring it to life. We breathe life into it. It is living and breathing. The business now affects everyone. The way that we connect in our businesses, the roof that we want to build to have people in the wellness center that Roger built in Hilton Head, the real estate that we've had. You want everything to be blessed and to be a place where you can come together. You want your family to be comfortable there. So when Roger and I got together, we had 29, I'll call it MSIs, multiple sources of income. And that could be a lot of different things. That could be real estate, that could be an investment, that could be a business. And so we were into creating multiple sources of income. So we would sit down with friends maybe in an evening and have a glass of red and say, what do you want to create? And we say, oh, you'll translate our book into French in Europe, and there's another source of income. or we'll do a workshop and we'll teach other people what we know, and there's another source of income. So always creating, but it is your baby. It starts as a vision, and it has a gestation period. And we know a baby's 9 months. We don't know the gestation period of most of our creations, but we know there's a gestation period, and that's up to how quickly, how much passion is behind it, is how fast I think you can attract it to yourself.
Dr. Boger said it in the interview I did with him, and you've just said it too. You both talked about, you sit with other people and you discuss how to create something together. And we're at such a time of doing that. And as you were saying that, I was thinking, well, if we had actual children, we would want these children to have friends so that they could create play. And so many people have been in this paradigm of, let it be about me. I don't want anyone else to show. It's got to be about me. This is my thing. But that's not where we are anymore. Because something can only grow if we allow others to come in and celebrate and expand it for us. And that's what you're talking about when you say you let others come in and create.
Our goal is creating a bigger pie. I mean, who would want to be responsible for 29 sources of income? We create a bigger pie everywhere we go. Who wants to play with us? And playing is a creative mode. There's a reason children play, because that is creative. We all need to play. And so when we can sit together in a safe circle of knowing that we're all transparent, we're all vulnerable, we all want to create, we all want to create something bigger than we are. We all want to be part of something bigger than we are. We want to make a difference, and we want to be loved. So those are our 3 rules. And also we follow another little rule, is that small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and superior minds talk about ideas. Mm-hmm. So we're always creating ideas. We love to get in a circle of people that are creative and want to create ideas. And then of course that has to happen, so there has to be a team, and you have to say, well, whose part, what part are you going to do? We're going to co-create this. Because if you come in and say, well, this is what I'm doing, and here's what you need to do, how fun is that?
Right.
So, but if you say, let's co-create this together, whether it's a relationship with your child or with your spouse or in a business, it's so much more fun to co-create. So we invite people to come and co-create and make a bigger pie.
Beautiful. You also, as Dr. Boger said, he's your apprentice of being a light worker. A lot of people are kind of confused as to that term, what that really means. Some of them think it's this airy-fairy woo-woo thing. Yes. Other things that we got this wand that we flash and throw at things. And then you said in the simplest of ways, it's just a smile at times.
Right.
Talk about what it really is.
Well, when we left today, there's some people doing construction in the neighborhood, and I just waved. My daughter waves. I said, if you wave and smile at someone, you're a light worker. Yes. You're spreading love, to you and through you, to whomever it is at the store, on the road, wherever they are. So you're spreading light, so you're a light worker. But I do go quite a bit beyond there, and I'm an apprentice all the time, and so I share a lot with Roger, but he's the reason that I am who I am. Everything's a reflection, but when I met him, time stood still, and that was a first for me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what is this? So I want to say maybe I was more left brain at that time. But when time stood still, and I connected to him so strongly that I knew when he was awake and when he was sleeping, I knew who he was with. In my meditation, I saw visions of him, interesting things. And I started going to see other coaches. And what is this? What is this about? So astrologers, everything I could do to learn about this feeling, this energy exchange was what it was. And I've learned quite a bit since then, and I really enjoy the energy exchange.
And you utilize also a lot of that energy work in creating sacred spaces in the places that you're trying to build, to really set the energy, to clear the energy. Talk about utilizing energy in that way, whether it is a space or even a space.
Right. Yes. Everything's your intention. Everything is your intention. And so don't forget to be intentional. Don't forget to clear that space. Every day, if you ask for help, you will have it every day. Don't forget to ask, because that's all you have to do is allow it. We are one. We are just a sliver of our source, so that he can watch us play, and so we just ask. Ask and you shall receive. There's so many simple things that we've been taught for thousands of years, but we were taught them in a different way. I don't know how to say, I have a word for religion, and I don't really want to go there, But you've heard these for thousands of years, the words that were written by men in books. But what I like to trust is what's in my heart. And it is a lot of those words. It's just, if you've ever seen the Lord's Prayer, the original Lord's Prayer, you go, oh. If you hear the same words, but you really hear it in your heart instead of in your mind,
yes,
it's a completely different prayer.
Yes, and that goes back to what Dr. Boger was saying too, the word allowing.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's so much in the allowing of things. And I think for women especially, we have forgotten how to allow, how to receive, and we've tried to be masculine when we're meant to be the feminine. Any words of wisdom to women that are really struggling to dive deeper into their heart and find that place of allowing and receiving?
It is about balance. I was very young when I met Roger. I was vice president of the company. I literally wore the pants every day, made the money, did everything, had to do everything right, perfect. And he opened me up to the feminine side, really, for the first time in my life. So I was, I was almost 40 years old before I ever felt beautiful. So that's, get there as fast as you can. Don't spend your life not feeling the glory and the beauty of being feminine and being full. He has such loving ways when I gain a few pounds to appreciate my fullness that I look at as sometimes unattractive. So he, I had to see myself through his eyes, beautiful, feminine, balanced, and then start to see that myself. It's the way God sees us. So it's just a blessing in my life. But it's truly about balance. If you have a headache, you're out of balance. If you're stressed, you're out of balance. If you're nervous, you're out of balance. It's all about balance, and we can ask for that balance. We can to be reminded that we're in control of our bodies. We can breathe. We can ask for what is it out of balance. If you're not aware, you need to stop and be aware. But you can bring yourself back to balance. If you're just aware that you're over here, you can kind of go, okay, I need to settle down here, and then everything will be as it should be, I suppose.
Yes.
You'll know.
Yes.
When you don't feel good, if it feels bad, move away from it. If it feels good, move towards it. There's that balance all the time.
And obviously the things that we're talking about, they're words that you can hear, but the beauty of really teaching is not in the words that someone speaks, but in the example they represent. And I think that what you can see here from Karen Boger is she's a woman that's got a lot on her plate. She has 4 children. She helps and assists in running all of these companies. She is a wife. And she is a powerhouse, you can see, but yet she's in her heart. And she understands that she has to be in balance, because your life is one that would require you to be in balance to continue to sustain. And you can see that on her face. So as another one of the great conversations with the universe on the Rebel Road, in this moment, look at your life and see whether or not you're in balance. Look at what is trying to birth here, what is really marinating inside of your gut as that place of creation that wants to come out and be seeded into the world. What is the DNA? What is the spark of light that you are here to bring? And who you can connect with in co-creation to allow that pie to expand for you. We don't have to go it alone. We're not here to be alone, because we are all one. Thank you so much, Karen, for being a part of this.
I'm so honored to be here. I've been watching you on the internet, and it's live. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. You can get to all of their information by the links below, so definitely tap into all of the things that they're doing, and we'll definitely have them featured in the 1111 magazine as well. So find more out about them in the 1111 magazine. In love, of love, with love, and as love. I'm Simran Singh. Until next time, be well.